the flooding that claimed 8 lives and destroyed lots of farmlands and households in Afikpo. You know, when we say things like do your part while you leave the rest for government, some people would tend to think that we're just looking for what to say. But when lives are destroyed, property is destroyed, farmlands are washed away, it becomes very, very painful to look at people who are displaced from the place they've always known as home. It becomes painful to watch as people's hard work are washed down the drain, and it becomes heartbreaking to see people mourn the loss of their loved ones. A mother and her 4 children were among the victims. It could be you if you do not take care of your environment. My name is Amaka Izuchukwu. Welcome to this beautiful morning on Sunrise and Soul Television. Good morning, Laura.
Hi, Amaka. Good morning. Let's say it's a beautiful day. I don't know. With the sad news of this flooding, I know here we talked about this flooding issue. We even brought in somebody to talk about it and enlightenment. I think even Noah came here to talk about it, and still it happened. That's why we have always hoped that we will have a proactive government interventions and all that, so that things like this are prevented. You don't just go to bed in the night and then wake up the next morning. The next morning we are hearing that floods had carried people away. It's really sad. Anyways, on that note, we're starting today's show. My name is Laura Manze. How has your week been? We hope it's been fine. And then today in the house, we are going to be looking at newspaper headlines and look at trending stories. We're also going to be talking about the Youth Week that just passed. Yeah, it's been a whole week-long activities to mark the week youth. Well, so we're going to be looking at what youths are doing, what difference are they making in terms of economics and all that. We'll be looking at that, and of course, we'll also take you through our newsroom, and then we'll be right back with you. Amaka Izuchukwu will be taking us on newspaper headlines meanwhile. And we're here in the house, of course, we have our in-house Shugaba, the comrade himself, Sunday Ndukwe, who is our in-house analyst as it has to do with newspaper. Sonny, good morning and welcome this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
All right, so let's begin now with the newspaper front pages. Let's see what we have on some of the front pages this morning. We've got quite a number, excuse me, we've got quite a number of stories, excuse me. Now on Daily Trust, we have that Tinubu hail and hearty, Subido. Riverskoi builds mall on Abuja site. 9 at large after Kefi jailbreak, that on Daily Post. We'll move over now to the Daily Sun. We are investigating many governors, so says EFCC. Excuse me. Says no sacred cows, corruption has no party lines. PDP Kick says silence decent voices. FG using EFCC against opposition. ABA rejects passengers life ban. Obi. Nigerian hospitals now where people go to die. Anglican Church. The Guardian says outrage over Ibom Air incident as IG orders Kwamwan's to the Guardian. All right, we still have NCOS, the cries low drug supply, personnel for 8,000 inmates with health needs. Lagos moves to regulate rents, curb abuse with new tenancy bill. All right, and let's move over now to the Vanguard. Vanguard has that in bold. Ibom Air fracas. Comfort begins life at Kirikiri. MBA waiting. We have lots of riders there, and we still have the 16 inmates attack warders, breach Kefi prison, 7 re-arrested. NMA raises alarm over mental health crisis among doctors. Wow, and lots of other stories right there for you to see. And let's quickly move over now to the Daily Independent. Airlines condemn fan over rising attacks on workers. And of course, we see so many riders there. Ban Ibom passenger for life over attack on crew. Passenger charged with assault remanded in Kirikiri. Union seeks compensations for assaulted workers. Obi Fort Ibom passenger arraignment says it's double standard. Flood wreaks havoc in Ebonyi community, claims 8 lives. That is also there. The Punch newspaper has this one. Health sector crisis persists despite 5.4 trillion naira World Bank loans. Can you imagine? Police probe Kwan over Abuja airport misconduct. NBA others condemn Ibom Air over female passengers assault. And that's it. That's basically what we have on the news front pages of the newspaper today. But we're going to be beginning with the one that seems to have raised as much dust as a matter can possibly raise in 2 days. And that's the fracas that happened on the Akwa Ibom, no, the Ibom Air. It has raised a whole lot of dust. We've seen so many people reacting. And now NBA is saying that we are with this young woman who was assaulted, according to NBA. I mean, and according to NBA, these people were so rash in throwing her into Kirikiri. She has a new life now in Kirikiri, maximum security prison.
Thank you so much. These happenings in our aviation sector is becoming embarrassing to the country, to the nation. And I think it's high time the Ministry of Aviation, in collaboration with the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, need to put hands together to call for training and retraining of the staff of different airlines. Before now, we had the issue that concerned the Senator Shomole. Then we came to the issue of a musician, A.K. Kwan. Now we are talking about this other lady. Whatever was her offense, which could be tantamount to terrorism, but the way she was treated is not acceptable as humans. And therefore, it is necessary for all meaning authority to wade in, just like the Nigerian Bar Association is about doing. They need to wade in. For them to charge that lady to a magistrate court, it is premeditated. They know very well that a magistrate court has no jurisdiction to that matter, and therefore charge her there, because they know since the court has no jurisdiction, the court will therefore order for her to be detained, yes, to be remanded in prison. So those things were premeditated, and goes a long way to tell us about the decay in that agency, and particularly that ministry of aviation. Something needs to be done urgently before something more serious than this happens.
Is it not amazing that we have had Ibom Air, we've had their own side of the story. We've also had the side of a story from a passenger who claims to have sat beside Comfort on the plane. But we've not had anything from Comfort herself, like an explanation or maybe a defense.
I don't think she has been given any opportunities so far to defend herself, because it's been hearsay, just like you pointed out, the side of the aviation or the airline, and then the side of co-passengers that were there. So I think she's... Yes, yes. We've not heard from Comfort herself. And the way the whole court thing, the rush about it, and it leaves a lot to be desired, actually. So we are hoping that justice will take its course and the full weight of the law will be brought on both parties, because did they behave well? Both? No. Both the comforts and from what we have seen and heard so far. But again, we cannot judge until we hear from both parties.
I want to tell you that, there are people that were arrested for outside this country for possessing explosives inside
the plane,
plane.
Yeah.
They were not treated like that.
At all. Those young
That
men.
does not, it doesn't mean that justice will not take
its course. Yes.
But you have to, the way you handle the person matters a lot. You know, the way the lady was manhandled. In fact, people are no longer talking about whatever she did.
But is that also not saying something about the way that we as humans in the society have gotten so interested in the number of social media engagements that we create over human rights? Because not one person posted that video, those pictures. So many people were busy. Instead of trying to, maybe this is a human, protect her dignity as a woman, a lot of people were more interested in capturing it and sharing all over social media. Maybe there should also be a regulation on what should actually be shared on social media.
Well, when you talk about that too, people will start shouting, I want to gag us. Freedom of expression, freedom of information and all that. But again, if that particular video, if it was posted by the airline, I think they should be held liable for that, outside the way they maltreated that girl. You understand? And whomever posted that should also be traced. You understand? It's interesting, like you said, that even, yesterday I went to the bank and all people could talk about, especially the male, is that, in fact, the picture was fine. The girl outside that, the fact that she, how they dragged her, but the bosom was okay. And I was like, is that all you could think about? You are not thinking about, that's all they saw. That's all they saw. That's, she's a very fine girl. And,
all right, so let's leave it at that now. We have this other story saying that EFCC has said we are investigating many governors. That is what EFCC says, and this is an upshot of the reaction from Atiku and ADC condemning Tambuwal's arrest, saying EFCC is now a political tool. What do you think?
It has been like that. Politicians will always, politicize any move. But the function of, or the duty of EFCC is to investigate political office holders, and whoever is found wanting will go for it. Tambuwal was a governor, a former speaker, two-term governor of Sokoto State. Then, as a sitting governor, EFCC cannot arrest him because he has immunity.
Sure.
He's covered by immunity of our constitution. So the only time EFCC will arrest him is after his term in office. And I believe it takes time, to run investigation of that nature. And now that they have come to conclusion that there's something Tambuwal needs to clarify, or he needs to answer some questions, I don't think there's anything wrong for them to invite him. The only place there will be problem is if EFCC is being gagged by the ruling party, to do their bidding. Okay. Except so. But in the absence of that, then we will not say EFCC is doing the wrong thing.
But
except they are gagged by the ruling party. If they are not gagged, and
how do you determine if they are gagged by the ruling party?
The way we determine if they are gagged or not is if we see investigation across party, not just the opposition, including...
That's the point I was coming to.
Including people in the ruling party.
The part I was coming to, because if you look at those that have been under investigation for a while now, you discover that most of them are from the opposition. In fact, those that were not in opposition, those that were in opposition and they started investigating them and they ported the thing died, investigations died down. So you also look at it from that angle that perhaps based on what they are saying as opposition, that they are being targeted in order to silence them because they are in opposition. So when you look at the issue of Tamboa now being investigated because they are, it's like, okay, ADC is coming out strong. Let's look for their strong men. We have things on them. Let's be, clamp down on their strong men and destabilize the party. So you could look at it from that point and say, okay, perhaps indeed EFCC might be, it's being used by the ruling party.
EFCC has also come out to say, let me look at that. EFCC said on Vanguard, EFCC says, stop sulking over opposition probes. We are non-partisan. To ABC. Now, just as we'll wrap up, I want us to talk, to look at this thing on Daily Sun. Nigerian hospitals, now where people go to die, according to Anglican Church. And then we'll also have that other punch. Health sector crisis persists despite 5.4 trillion naira World Bank loans.
Well,
Do you agree with it?
definitely. You see, last time here we talked about the strikes of the medical workers. This is one of the reasons why they, apart from the allowances and all that, government will rush to talk about the allowances. But those are not the actual reasons most times. If you are a medical practitioner and you don't have equipment, you will be working with almost nothing. In
fact, Vanguard says NMA raises alarm over mental health crisis among doctors.
So you'll be working without anything. And if you are working without equipment, the level of error you commit will be alarming. And no doctor will be happy to see that the patients, that are under your care, his or her care, are not well taken care of. You don't feel good when your patient, you are losing patients maybe to death, or you are all is amounting to nothing. You see, just because there are no equipment to do the right thing.
Is it just equipment, or do you think that the ratio of doctors to patients is overwhelming? I mean, with us having our best in the medical field, Jack Barring, all right? Doctors now have more patients. One doctor now has more patients to take care of.
Because, I mean, like the mental health issue, you understand? These doctors also have their own personal issues to attend to. And then you come to your workplace and you're not finding the necessary tools. Not only are you underpaid, you're overworked. So definitely it will affect any normal human being. So I think that it's an issue that has been on and on and on and on. And I don't know what the government is planning to do about that. Well, at least let's thank God in Ebonyi State, our own government is making efforts to see that the Japa syndrome, the potting that doctors are, medical and caregivers, engage in is, brought down to the barest, increasing their salaries, making sure that they have a means of mobility. Their logistics are being taken care of so far in Ebonyi State. So we just pray that this thing goes across board, even though it can never be enough.
Even of logistics and all of that, the ratio is still very poor, all right? The ratio is one doctor, 9,083 patients, as against one doctor for every 1,000 patients. And the doctors are actually saying that it might actually even be worse than what WHO is reporting. underground and on even urban distribution. We really do hope that, you know, it just doesn't end in talk. What is even more alarming for me is that invested well over 5 trillion naira in the health sector, and we are
not seeing
these
results.
challenges.
We're not
Something
seeing
needs to be
results.
done. But thank you so very much for your contribution to the review of the front pages this morning. Thank you, Sunday Degree.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be taking a quick break now. When we'll return, we would have someone help us understand what actually happened in Sudan yesterday. I mean, it's been a roller coaster of victories for our sportsmen in the world of sports. So yesterday was quite
In Zanzibar.
weekend people everywhere. We'll take a break now. We'll see you after the break.